It's the compass trick.
It's the compass
We've
trick.
covered that one too in the past, although it's been a few years now. Yep.
Yes.
That's a fun one for those who don't know. If you press it in the corner and you hold your phone flat, you can't do it vertically. You hold your phone flat, your phone will actually act as a proper compass, and the game will rotate to the direction that you in the real world are facing.
Yep. And then while you're in that mode, if you tap it again, it'll lock it north, no matter which direction you're going to.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Very, very helpful, especially when you're trying to navigate in a place you don't know where you're at.
Almost exclusively that. We're like, oh, how do I get out of the park? Oh, I know that the gate's north. Which direction is north?
Yeah. Sun direction? Who knows about that?
No. There's no stars out. I can't chart my course.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
Sewaddle waddles its way into October for Community Day.
Let's go shiny bird watching and catching with our Daily Adventure Incense.
And more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 300. Kyle and I just learned that means this is our tricentennial episode, at least of the official numbered episodes. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I've got my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how are you feeling? You feeling tricentennial, whatever that means?
I don't know what that means, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. So
wow, good? Oh my
I
gosh.
just slept for 3 hours, so I better be. Otherwise, why did I go to sleep?
We're in trouble. I was trying to look up to see if there was like for 300, if there was like a special thing or like a gemstone associated with it. Like, you know, there's all those weird things and there's nothing. Once you start getting up that far, there's nothing.
We don't worry about you.
They're not even like sure if what the word should be. There's tercentennial or tercentenary or tricentennial and tricentenary. It's been a tricentenary. Who writes this? I don't know. Anyway, this is GOCast. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Go. I promise we will. All right, Mr. Kyle, we set some goals last week. And between then and now was Ponyta Community Day, which both of us were busy with other things at the time. So we didn't really get to do too much, but it wasn't our goals. It was some other things. So let's get that going. You wanted to catch 2 shiny Galarian Ponyta. Did you manage?
I did do that.
Excellent. What about 350,000 experience?
I did a lot more than that.
Oh,
yeah. I did like 1.2 million this week.
Oh my word. Look at you, Mr. Experience. And then more max battles. I knew the answer to this one.
I did do that. I've done all of my max battles every day.
Oh, really? Oh,
so
okay.
Far. Well, either done max battles or spent my max particles that I got for the day. So I couldn't do max battles.
Gotcha. So you've collected and spent dust as much as you can every day, or the mega points or max particle.
Too many terms.
All right, so that's a 3 out of 3 for you. Wow, look at you go, man! For 300, you're pulling out all the stops. I love it. For myself, I wanted to get 5 shiny Ponyta of either variety. I'm very happy to say I got 2 Galarian Ponyta and then 3 regular Ponyta. So we got everything we needed.
Okay.
But as far as 50 eggs hatched goes, I think I did like 35, something like that. It was not a good week for me for hatching eggs, unfortunately. And then 24 million Stardust on hand. I did, but not currently. I had it yesterday. And then I powered up a Charizard.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, powered up a Dynamax Charizard. Not too much, just a 2,500. But I was just trying to guess. I was trying to hit that sweet spot of value and function, you know. But alas, that means that Mr. Kyle is our official winner this week. Good on you. Great. So why don't we Before we move on, oh my gosh. Hey, shout out again for the GOCast Meetup 2024. It's happening in Mall of America, October 26th and 27th. Go to our website. We have a tab for it. Please RSVP if you're coming. I need to know. There's going to be a cutoff for the RSVP in like a week or so. So do it now so you don't forget. And I was looking stuff up. There's going to be generic Halloween things happening in the mall during this period of time, which surprises nobody. But also to tell you that all the hotels around that for that weekend are largely sold out. So the sooner you figure out what you're doing and how you're getting there and where you're staying and stuff, the better off you're going to be. Do it right away. If you have any questions, just reach out. Like I'll help you as best I can. But I'm not a travel agent. Let me make that clear. I could barely find us a place. I waited too long, but we ended up figuring it out. So yeah, don't be me. Do that. Get it done. All right. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We are going to have an extended emails and voicemails section at the end of the show. We did put out a call for voicemails and emails because this is episode 300. And one of the things that makes our show different than other Pokemon Go podcasts and other podcasts just in general is that we really have a hefty amount of listener participation, and in particular from our patron members as well. And people send in voicemails, emails, they respond to the PokéPoll. Like, we love that stuff. And so we said, hey, it's only fitting that we invite y'all to also be included in some way. So we sent out the call to our patrons in our Discord server, and many of them answered that call, in addition to other people as well. So if you sent anything in, thank you very much for it. I believe I got everything, so we should be square. If I missed something, let me know, and we'll play it on the next episode. But hopefully I got it all. What that means, though, is that we will be doing news, and then PokéPoll, and then episode 300 stuff. So this week we will not be having Gear Up. We won't be having Pokelore. Just to let you know up front that that's what's happening. But we got two pieces of news to talk about all the same. We'll cover that first, of course, like we always do. And we got to talk about our experience with a Dynamax Beldum in Max Battles, because we legitimately delayed the episode so that we could talk about it. We didn't record on Tuesday so that we can go try it and talk about it. So without further ado, let's hop right into the news. Yo, what up? It's the news. All right, before we hop into new stuff, Kyle, let's have a little conversation. Let's talk about Dynamax Beldum, which was introduced with the event that started Wednesday, Psychic Spectacular. And this raid is proving to be a little bit more difficult than the previous ones have been, where you didn't really have to power anything up. You could even just you could use your Wooloo as a Wooloo at the level you caught it and win every raid. Or max battle, rather.
Yep.
This one required a little bit more effort. I don't think it required a whole lot of effort, but it required a little bit more, at least enough for us to get a sense of depth of what this could be in the future. So, Kyle, I've just been talking. I am dying to know what your experience was with it, because we didn't really talk about it. We just confirmed that we had done one. But I want to know what your thoughts are and what your experience was doing it.
Well, I've done two, because that's as many particles as I've had the opportunity to do, or I would have done more. It was fine. I don't know really how to feel about it right now. See, I'm not one over here waiting for like a really good Charizard. I'm like, I want to do the Beldum raids, and I'm not like managing multiple Charizards right now. So I took one Charizard, I took it to level 40, and I got it to like max flare level 2.
Yep.
And I used that. And that's enough to beat the 3-star raid by itself, 3-star max battle by itself. Not just barely, but like Charizard had 20% HP left at the end of it.
Okay.
And at the end of each one.
How much CP does your Charizard have? Just so I have a sense of reference here.
2839.
Okay. All right.
He's like 14, 11, 14.
Oh, all right.
So I was like, that's good enough. Also, it has Fire Blast, and Flamethrower might be better. I don't really know necessarily what the value is of the moves yet, but
yeah,
Fire Blast is bad. Fire Blast is bad. Overheat would probably be a lot better. I just haven't TM'd it yet. I should go do that right now, actually.
While you're thinking about it until like later when you're locked into the battle and you're like, oh, well, that's too bad. Yeah.
So I actually saw Carlos post on Discord, and this got me thinking about it. Your max battle, your Dynamax meter is shared amongst all your Pokemon. So in theory, you could build it up with a different Pokemon, switch to Charizard, use your moves, use Charizard before it gets KO'd, switch out to another one, and then switch back to get another Dynamax. If you wanted to like min-max that.
Okay.
And I will say with my level 40 Charizard, I did not reach a second Dynamax before I won. So I beat it with one, and then I farmed it down like a normal raid for the remainder.
Okay.
I have like one or two more thoughts, but I'd like to hear what you have to say first.
Yeah, we had slightly different experiences. I got my Dynamax Charizard, which is 15, 13, 10, or 11 or something like that. I saw the 15. And I was like, that's good. You're coming with me, buddy. And I leveled him up such that he is 2,500 combat power. So probably maybe level 30, early 30s, 32 or something like that, if I had to guess. And I brought him into that Beldum, and it's the only Pokemon I used. I didn't have to switch to anybody else or use anything else. But I did get through 2 Dynamax rotations. I got it to trigger once, and then I did it, and it wasn't enough, and then I got to trigger again. And then I had to finish it off with a regular Fire Blast at the end. Fire Blast is bad. You're right. I should also TM mine. But
okay, so you're using Fire Blast too. You Fire Blast,
Fire Spin. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's quite the difference. It sounds like, even just with those 15 or so power-ups between the two of our Pokemon. I saw an entire another Dynamax rotation. So I enjoyed it. I did. And I think more importantly, now that this was very complicated, I think there's 2 things that people are talking about. One is still people talking about how they don't want to invest in yet another Charizard, which completely valid. Get that for sure. But what we're talking about here is that with minimal investment, I think I put 90,000 Stardust into this Charizard, right? Mm-hmm. That and whatever the candy cost was as well. You can do pretty well. You can do these raids or these max battles and completely fine.
Max Flare 2?
Oh, Max Flare 3.
Okay, so that's a significant cost difference for sure.
Yeah, but
from what I've seen, it is not a very large increase in damage. But
yeah, I think it would be fine if I had been at 2. It would have been a similar situation. But the other thing is that these seemed difficult in a way that people weren't expecting. And I also heard some people talking about them being crashes and stuff like that. I heard 2 things. I heard it was really hard for whatever reason, which was not my experience, or it was so easy that they're like, I'm still kind of just, I'm not interested. Right.
Mm-hmm. I did crash once. I didn't mention that. I did a max battle right after work this morning, and I was sitting in my car because there's a point right across the street, and I got like 3/4 of the way through. It was already going to be dead. And then my screen went to the nearby Pokestop, and I couldn't exit.
Oh.
So I tried to hit back, and I got a black screen, so I had to restart the app.
Okay.
I will say I saw some question online. It did not consume my max particles for backing out like that. I don't know, maybe if that was a rare case. I saw some people concerned about that, so that's good. I'd be very upset. I would have been very upset.
It should only use them if you finish the max battle.
Hopefully. That's
That's the idea, at least. Who knows? But I think the most important takeaway from this is that it gave us the ability to sort of see scope for this feature. And I'm really excited for whatever the most difficult version of this feature is going to be. And I really hope, and I almost can't believe I'm saying this, but I really hope you have to be in a group to do the hardest
after seeing
stuff.
The state of a 3-star battle, there is no shot you will solo a 5-star.
Yeah. I mean, but you know,
question though.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Did your Beldum have any support? Did that power spot have any Pokemon in it?
No, I think it had 3 or 4.
Okay. Each of mine had like 2.
Okay.
I tried to find one that didn't have any, but it wasn't like on my way to go to it, and I wasn't going out of my way at the time.
Are you? Another question off of your question. Are you getting any candy when your Pokemon come back from power spots? Because I haven't gotten anything.
I've gotten some, but not every time.
Okay.
Most of the time it's 0.
I think people just aren't throwing in these power spots, or just aren't doing the max battles as often as I would think that they are.
I think, and this is a tangent for the conversation, I think that the candy and Candy XL you can potentially get from throwing in is only for city players. I think that is not a value proposition to a more rural or smaller community.
Yeah, it's got to scale probably pretty aggressively. I think you're right, because if it's the difference between a power spot seeing 10 people participating in battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus 1,000 in an 8-hour period, right?
Yeah, and it caps out at 5 candies. You can get 5 candies from it.
Okay.
So I don't know about XL. I think the XL might also be 5, but it seems like it's much more rare. So you probably will not see that.
Does it send your Pokemon back when it's hit the cap, or does it?
No, I don't think it sends back until the power spot is done, or you recall it yourself.
Or you recall it, right? Okay, interesting. Interesting. Because I think it'd be cool if it did kick you out. If you're like, oh, hey, you're at the maximum, but you still have, 12 hours left to go that you could sit in here. It would be helpful, actually, if it forcibly returned those Pokemon, because then other people can then hop in, because there's a maximum how many people can be posted up at one of those power spots. And if you are hitting it that soon, anyway, your maximum, that kind of indicates that power spot is very popular and active. So there will be people to fill back in.
Yeah, I guess that's the city dilemma. You don't really ever have to worry about that one.
Sounds like a social theory, the city dilemma.
Yes, it does. It's the social theory of Pokemon Go.
That's right.
So I had 2 thoughts now to share about max battles now that we have a harder one to do. First one, I really didn't think about for the 1-star. There's no timer for these. And that's both, I guess it's just strange, because I'm trying to think about how the play pattern is going to go in the future, because we don't really know what this will look like if you do it in a party of 4 against a raid boss. Is 4 people in a max battle against a legendary with appropriate counters? Are you going to bowl over that legendary? Are you going to just like roll it because everybody is actually attempting? Or will you have to be more strategic about it? And I think the timer obviously lends itself more to being more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
But Pokemon Go does not. To put politely.
Right.
Like, the real, you look at this and you have Max Guard and you have Max Spirit, right? Whatever the heal's called.
Yeah.
And you're like, do I hit that? Or do I just press Max Flare 3 times and do the most damage possible?
I had to make that call, and I actually did hit Max Spirit the second Dynamax rotation first, mostly because I wanted to see how much it would heal. But my Charizard would have fainted if I didn't do that heal.
How much did it heal?
A minimal amount, but it's also only rank 1. I don't know how much of a difference it makes.
I doubt it's going to be drastic.
But it was tiny. It was really tiny. But that being said, you could hit it 3 times, right? So
yeah, but 3 times. And then this brings me to the other part of the conversation I just wanted to mention. Having done it now with a level 40 Pokemon, I'm pretty confident that with a level 40 Pokemon and a level 20 Pokemon, I could have beat the raid without Dynamaxing.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't force you to use Dynamax, I could have tested it, obviously, but you don't get that choice. And so it leads me to be like, the Dynamax is not good enough. That may sound weird. You spend, 45 seconds, 60 seconds building up your Dynamax meter. You use it, and then my Max Flare level 2 did like 5% to the Beldum. So I did that 3 times at 15%, which is cool because you you can't get like attacked back during it. So like that's fine. But the time it took me to get there did almost 3 times as much damage as my max flares did.
Yeah, sure.
And again, it's not min-maxed. I don't have blast burn. If I had blast burn, I probably would have done 20% more damage than I did by itself.
And so now we're thinking that the non-Dynamaxed time is the stuff that we're really going to be min-maxing. It's not when you're Dynamaxed, because that's very cut and dry, very two-dimensional. You're either attacking or you're probably healing, and maybe in the future we'll have an idea of what the defense thing really means and what we're doing with it, but you're not receiving damage at that time. So I don't know, maybe when you're in a group the boss is more active when somebody's in a Dynamax phase.
Well, that's also going to be interesting because people will get to Dynamax differently, or does everybody fill the meter when you're in a party?
I don't know.
At the same time, you got to go do that because I don't have anyone around me that's going to do it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, same here. I also have a question for you, and I want to know what your gut feeling is, because you're usually right about this, Mr. Game Mechanics, especially mobile games. What charges the Dynamax meter, right? Is it a Dynamax energy is generated by your move, and that's a flat amount, like in PvP, or is it percentage of bosses' health taken down? Because I think it's the latter now that we've had a couple of different experiences.
But counterpoint, I didn't get to a second Dynamax.
That's because you did more damage with your max flares when you were in Dynamax form, and that throws off the meter.
Maybe, but I don't know. Because then, of course, you have the little bubbles to tap, which, by the way, I still don't understand how those work. Tapping, swiping, I seem like they give me almost nothing. I almost want to ignore them. I don't understand. That needs some serious clarity or like fixing. Maybe someone tell me if I'm doing it wrong.
I don't think
feel bad.
I don't think swiping works. I think it's tapping and that's it. I tried both.
It's like I get like one of those little pips up into the bar, and I'm like, I had to move my finger for this.
I'm getting a few.
It feels very inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. I switched it over to overheat now, so I'll go do another Beldum hopefully tomorrow, and we can see how it feels. Because I thought maybe it was damage based in general, because like the difference between a body slam and a fire blast or something, or a flamethrower, was significant, but it could have just been because one did more of the boss's health.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think from this, just A/B testing, even just my own, not even taking into account yours, which I think bolsters this, I'm almost positive it's how much percentage of health you're dealing to the enemy boss.
That makes it a lot worse when you go to a legendary then.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I should say 5-star. We don't know that they're going to be legendaries necessarily.
Right. But that also might be, well, okay. I mean, no way. Ain't no way we're not seeing Eternatus through this feature.
Yeah, for sure. But like, what about until then? So like, they're not going to leave this with 1 and 3 stars until Eternatus comes out next year.
Put Zygarde in it, you cowards.
That wouldn't make very much sense.
Put Zydog in there.
Yeah, I still think the bones of the system are really good.
Yeah.
And it needs some work. It needs some fleshing out.
Needs some zhuzh for sure.
And it definitely feels bad that the non-Dynamax time is so crucial to being able to do it.
Have you tried dodging?
I have tried dodging.
Did you get it to work?
I've dodged a few times, but I don't understand the timing at all. So, like, an attack is incoming. Okay, swipe. Oh, no, you just got hit. Okay, well, I guess, thankfully, it was not very effective, so I don't really care.
Somebody watching me in my car while I was sitting there in this parking lot doing this Beldum, they would have just seen me just, like, screaming at myself, like, oh, what do I do? Too late? Too early? Like, it didn't make any sense.
The timing's a little bit, I don't know.
It's weird. Also, the dodge is very different than it is everywhere else, and you just like you're
it's a fixed camera.
Hop to the side, and then it comes back, and I'm like, what's the window? What does this mean? There's no indicator. There's no nothing. Anyway, we'll learn. But I agree with you. I still think, like you said, bones are spectacular. I can see where they're going. I really can. And I really hope, beyond hope, that the highest end of this stuff is so stinking difficult that it feels really good to do it right and get it done.
One point I want to say, I think that 3 stars don't give enough experience.
Or anything else. They just gave experience and that was it.
I didn't have that bug, thankfully. I did get rare candy from doing mine.
I did not.
That was a bug that is happening where they are only giving experience, and that's not good. But it's only 7,500 experience, which that's not a bad amount of experience. But for a slightly higher cost, you can do 2 1-stars, and that's 5,000 each, so that's 10,000, and it's faster. Yeah. It is not an insignificant amount of time to do a Beldum max battle. Worth mentioning for sure.
And also the cost isn't even really that much more because it's $250 each, so 500 for 2 1-stars. And that Beldum was $450, wasn't it?
I think it's 400.
400, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, prices there.
So, a 5-star battle will be 800. That will not feel super great, but the longer you use the feature, I think the better it gets. That doesn't excuse it feeling bad at the start, though.
No, and I think they gave it a fair shake with Skwovet and Wooloo, and then introducing the 3 Kanto starters, right? Familiarity, and then there's a lot of type variation and accessibility over that, so that's fine, right? Thank goodness we all had our Charizards for Beldum, otherwise it would have been rough. We would be using our Dubwools with double kick or whatever the case might be, but that would be neutral, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it's promising. I don't feel discouraged whatsoever. I feel motivated and encouraged by the difficulty level for Beldum. So, dear listener, if you are struggling with the Beldum, they might even be around by the time that this episode comes out. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I hope
they don't go away at the end of the Psychic Spectacular. That will be very disappointing.
It would be disappointing. But if you are struggling with it, go ahead. The 2 things I think that are most important are, 1, make sure your fast move is a super effective typing against the boss that you're going to be doing. Your charge move is very important as well, but your Dynamax move is based off your quick move. So don't get that confused. It's a different way of thinking about it. You want 2 fire attacks on your Charizard, right? And then beyond that, power up the Charizard just a little bit. It sounds like around 2,500 combat power is sort of the bottom half of that. And Kyle was comfy at 28 something. So if you go any higher than that, you'll be even better. Any lower, it'll be more difficult. Maybe you could get away with 3 cheap Charizards.
Yeah, I've seen people say that 3 level 20 Charizards can do it.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's probably not a very fun time, but it sounded like it was doable.
Yeah. And no advice around leveling up your Dynamax stuff, really. I mean, maybe get your Max Flare to 2, but it didn't really feel like 3 was necessary.
I'm going to say don't get it to 2 unless you're already an endgame player. It's 100 candies for level 1 to 2. And for most people, especially if you've been around for Charmander community days that we've had, that's not a lot. But for maybe the more average player, that's a lot. I spent 400 candies, regular candies, on a Charizard this weekend.
Boy.
I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, whatever. No XL candy, those are being saved. But the average person is not going to do that, nor would I say they should do that.
Fair enough. All right, so do with that what you will, dear listener. But we've got some news to talk about. This one's very exciting. Kyle called me. He was so ecstatic. He was so thrilled with this news. October 2024 Community Day. It's Sewaddle. This is going to happen on Saturday, October 5th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. Thank goodness it's a Saturday, Kyle. You can do it. They were truly thinking of you, weren't they? The featured attack: if you evolve your Swadloon into a Leaveney, it will know the fast attack Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw in trainer battles deals 9 power, and gyms and raids it deals 6 power, or has 6 power rather. There will be a $1 community day special research. The event bonuses, just to really pile it on specifically for Kyle, very, very, very cultured just to him. 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. Quarter egg hatch distance when eggs are placed into an incubator. And then the usual stuff: lure modules, adventure incense last for a long time, yada yada. Take your snapshots, additional special trades are cheaper. You know the drill. Yeah, we'll circle back in a second. Let me just finish this out here. The bonus raid battles after the fact will feature Swadloon in 4-star raids. There will be field research available where you can catch Sewaddle to earn rewards such as Stardust, Great Balls, additional encounters with Sewaddle, and more. There will be showcases. Yep. Web store, an Ultra Community Day box. Yes. Event bundles. Sure. Stickers. He's just a baby. He's so cute. He's so cute. I'm sorry that you've been irked like in this way. You've been completely screwed over, Kyle. Really, you have. Your October Community Day is a bummer. But Sewaddle is a cutie pie. The floor is yours. Rage, please.
The text message that I sent to Chris when I found out this information was just Niantic is dead to me. That was my response. I'm so, oh my God. Like, so Sewaddle was bound to be a community day. It was bound to happen. And I appreciate that it at least got Shadow Claw, which is, ghost adjacent, obviously. And it's really good. So like Leaveney is going to have some GPL usage, I'm sure, because of this. That's it. I got nothing.
That's it.
Look, I understand. But before you come at me, I understand there is not a specific precedent about having a ghost type community day in October. In fact, there's been more examples against it than there have been for it. That doesn't make it like it still doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make it right. Darn it.
I think last year they had Timber, which is at least was a really good one, even if it still didn't make any sense. There's so many ghost types in the game. I don't need you to release a new ghost type for it. It just, come on, it's right there. It's right there.
Yeah. Well, let's hope do we know when the classic is? Is it in October? I think they might have shared the date and the save the dates. We don't know if maybe the classic will be a ghost.
I mean, there's only been 2 ghosts. I think. Well, 3. There's been 3. We had Litwick. So,
we had Litwick, Ghastly, and then what's the other one?
Good Lord, what's the name of it?
What's it look like?
It's Dusclops. I just can't remember the first name right now. Duskull. There you go. Duskull.
Oh, Duskull. Shut it.
You're just making fun of me right now.
Jeez. Sorry. I really am sorry. I mean, I got to level with you, Kyle. I'm very sorry. But at the same time, it is a bug, and he's a little sweet pea, and I'm happy. Now, Shiny is pretty underwhelming.
It's pretty bad, and it gets worse as it evolves.
I think Swadloon is peak in this evolution line. Like Leaveney is cool, but Swadloon's design is peak. And I think the Shiny is probably best in Swadloon.
Probably. I think Swadloon is good. I like it as a design for a Pokemon. It's really cute.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Leaveney is a very good payoff for that, for Sewaddle and Swadloon, but whatever. The save the dates have no classic this season, or at least for the next 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Well, and then there's December, which will not have a classic, I'm sure.
No, because the regular community day is the king of all classics.
Yeah.
But holding out hope. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe it'll happen while we're at the meetup in Mall of America. That'd be great.
Maybe it won't be announced. It'd be great.
Yeah, 2 years ago when we had it at Mall of America, it was Geodude and Alolan Geodude Community Day on our day that was planned for the mall. It was perfect timing. So it'd be great if we were blessed by the Niantic gods again, but I doubt it. But yeah, hey, Sewaddle, well, you know what? Yeah, no, Sewaddle Community Day. Sewaddle Community Day, October 2024. Be there, be square. Sorry again, Mr. Kyle. But let's see if we can make up for it with this other new piece of news. This event is called Galarian Expedition. And it's going to start on Friday, October 4th at 10 a.m. and it's going to run to Friday, October 11th at 8 p.m. local time. There's a wild encounter pool. We love that. Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Abra, Magnemite, Wailmer, Spheal, Aron, Beldum, Shinx, Fungus, Dedenne, Wooloo, Chansey, Absol, and Emolga. Every single one of those Pokemon can be shiny. That's wonderful. If you had to identify a chase in this pool, though, Kyle, which one do you think you'd point out?
For the shiny?
Yeah. If you're looking at this pool, I guess you know what. Throw me a practical argument. Throw me a hey. Okay, for the Stardust.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. By the way, great Stardust for this event. If you're grinding it, Morlul is a lot of Stardust.
Yes.
So yes, that's great. Just calling that out.
I forgot to tell you, I got a shiny Gothita off my plus yesterday.
Oh my! Yeah, I got a shiny Puchaina.
Yeah, Banana Dog. We love it. All right. Anyway,
Dedenne probably.
Yeah, for the shiny. I think so too. Emolga, if you didn't get it for the event, the Global Go Fest rather.
And Absol, if you haven't gotten one, don't want to do raids for it. So
yeah, I think
always just nice to see.
I think Fab Soul is also perma boosted, right?
Yeah. I think it's 1 in 64 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's a rare spawn.
There you go. I'll be avoiding the Arons like the plague. I will not be clicking on those.
I'm very confused by this pool of Pokemon. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Like the theming?
Yeah. Like, is there a theme? Am I not seeing it? There's only one Galar Pokemon in here.
Yeah, but all of these Pokemon were in that game.
Yeah, so were 480 other Pokemon.
Yeah. Understand. I'm with you, man. I don't see a theme either. I don't see a functional like overview thing here, but I don't know. Maybe as we learn more about this event, we'll come to a conclusion. Let's talk about the rest of it. 5-star raids will feature Zamazenta getting its shiny debut. Again, this is the Hero of Many Battles one, so it won't have the shield main yet. It'll just be a doggy, which is fine. We like dogs. Masterwork Research Master Ball, $7.99. You'll get 1 Master Ball, 18,000 experience, 10,000 Stardust, encounters with event-themed Pokemon such as Galarian Farfetch'd and Galarian Mr. Mime, and more. Wait a minute. Event-themed Pokemon, neither of those two are in the Wild Encounter pool.
No, but they are both
from Galar.
Galar? Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so. And I like both of those. Galarian Mr. Mime and Galarian Farfetch'd are great shiny checks. So we love that. Daily Adventure Incense. For the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter shiny Galarian Articuno, shiny Galarian Zapdos, and shiny Galarian Moltres if you're very lucky. Also starting with this event and continuing permanently afterward, there will be an update to the Pokemon that can appear while using your Daily Adventure Incense. Happy exploring trainers, aka we're not going to tell you nana nana boo boo, go for a walk. Yes. There's some other things to say about this, right, Kyle, before we move on?
There is, because we have confirmation that the shinies will not run, as is legendary tradition at least, but they will not have enhanced catch rate.
Yeah. So don't be caught with your pockets empty. You want to stay strapped with your Pokeballs, more or less. Yeah. Because that would be a shame if you were sitting there and you ran out of Ultra Balls and Golden Raspberries when you needed them most.
What this means, though, is that at a certain critical mass, the shiny version of these will be more common than the regular version, probably.
That's very true. Also, think about this practically when you're using your adventure incense. One of the things that bothers me is that when I get something on there with a low catch rate and I'm like throwing ball after ball after ball at it because it breaks out 3 or 4 times, I miss a spawn. Imagine spending 10 minutes of your timer trying to catch this Galarian bird because it's shiny and won't run. And it just keeps popping out.
I mean, I think most people will take that trade, though, because you're doing the daily adventure for a Galarian bird. So if you could spend 10 minutes trying to catch one, that probably made the rest of the incense worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
So
all right.
I guess if you do it for different reasons, of course, but still.
That's a great counterpoint. I will defer to you in this case. Way to go. Collection challenges. Complete catch and evolution focused collection challenges to receive experience, ultra balls, and encounters with event themed Pokemon. Field research task encounters. Complete the tasks, rewards, not encounters. Complete the tasks to earn items, experience, Stardust, and encounters with event themed Pokemon. There's going to be stuff on the web store, and there's going to be showcases. Yes, so there's all of that. I love seeing a new collection challenge. I was thrilled to see that there were 2 in the Psychic Spectacular. That was cool.
Don't both of them, I'm not looking right now, don't neither of them require you to catch a Hatena? Right? Isn't it not one of the collection challenges?
I don't think it does.
I just think that's kind of funny. That's all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty rare, so I get it. I haven't seen a Hatena really in the wild. I got them from research desks and from
I've seen plenty on my nearby. I just haven't gone out of my way to go get it yet.
You haven't gotten one yet?
Nope. One hasn't spawned near me, and I haven't got an event research.
I can't tell because the check mark is so big and Hatena is so small. Oh my gosh. Yeah, on that catch screen, boy, Hatena is tiny. Really tiny.
Fritzy, Swirlix, Morlo, LGM, and Inkay for the first one, and then Ralts and Solosis evolutions for the second one.
For those in the okay, so no Hatena, but
no Hatena.
Look how small she is. She's so tiny. She's not even extra small. You probably couldn't even see it. Holy cow. Anyway. There's that. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this event here, Kyle? This is, I think, a 3-pronged thing, right? There's Zamazenta with a shiny debut. That's really cool. There's the Master Research for the Master Ball if you want to, right? That's notable. But then I think probably most importantly, and I hate to say this because of Zamazenta's shiny coming out, but I think most importantly, these Daily Adventure Incense changes are huge.
Well, we need to see first, because I don't know. The shiny birds are great, but they're not going to be a boosted shiny rate. They're going to be it's going to be a minuscule thing. I do not think this is going to be a 1 in 20 shiny rate for these birds. Let's be real here.
That would be pretty cool if it was, though.
It's not going to be.
Actually, it would feel kind of cheap if everybody was getting them.
Yeah, there's no shot. It's a nice chase for those who are seeking it. It's nice they won't run. That's awesome.
Yep.
But again, at the same time, it feels cheap. Did you imagine you do your Daily Adventure Incense every single day for the past, what has it been, 2 years, 3 years now?
It's
been 3 years. They came out in 2021 because we were in Seattle when they dropped.
Seattle. Yep.
And you still don't have all 3. You've seen them, they run away, and then you get a shiny and you know you will catch it if you put your time in. It almost makes the last 3 years feel bad if that was why you were doing the Daily Adventure Incense.
I guess, but at the same time, that's been the gameplay loop for everything else once the shiny comes out. It's been for community days, right? Or even worse yet, the shiny is out and it's rare, and then it has a community day the next year, right?
But I think the difference is the required gameplay loop to get a Galarian bird.
Okay.
I can go, if Gibble was featured in an event, I can go chase Gibble. I can make my game plan to find Gibble and I just play my game. Yeah. But you only get one shot each day at your adventure incense, and you have to work for it. You have to walk, or you have to hit that, like, I don't know, like 4 miles an hour or whatever it is constantly to get every single spawn. I'm not saying it's bad. I do feel like, as somebody who doesn't do it, it almost cheapens the value of a Galarian bird.
That it is it's not going to run. That's why.
Yes, that it's not going to run.
Yeah, but man, if they could run, we would be having a very different conversation right now. I think it is so much worse to have them be able to run.
Well, yeah, I think the system doesn't support the ways that shinies work currently.
Yeah,
I think the system of getting the Galarian birds doesn't support the shiny anything in this game.
I think the only thing that would make it feel bad to me, and the way that you're describing it feels cheapened to you, is if there was a pity system. Like, oh, you didn't get a Galarian bird this adventure incense. 10 more bad incenses and you'll roll one of the 3. You know, like, I think that would feel really cheap, but I don't know. The alternative in the shiny scenario makes me feel okay about it, because the alternative
yes, you're right. The alternative is bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd love to hear from people who do their daily adventure incense every day, because Chris and I do not.
No. Wouldn't be caught dead. I'm just kidding. I like it. I just forget about it.
And to change the topic completely, there's another Master Ball research.
Yeah, for $8 reduce.
It's not timed. So
good.
That's great. Fantastic. I'll consider buying it. I still have 2 that I'm never going to use. I think I have the 3rd one that I haven't completed yet. So you should have 4 if you've never used one, I think.
I have 2. I've used one.
Oh, you've used one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it a Zapdos? What do I have? Articuno? I've got something. It's Articuno.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, that's good. I'm not going to say that this is like a...
Look at these IVs.
Hey. 1-3-11.
This is why I don't talk about having this thing. Gosh. All right. I cut you off. Continue. My bad.
Well, I'm not going to say that you should buy this, although having the Master Ball is really nice to at least have. But if you've already got 1 or 2 you're not using, I don't see a reason to buy this unless you like collecting the Master Ball.
Yeah, and I think most people do.
Yeah.
I think people that play Pokemon Go are like that.
Yeah. So the encounters are not worth basically anything unless you still don't have a Galarian Mr. Mime, which is fair. Totally understandable.
Yeah. My big question is, why on earth would you even list 18,000 experience as a thing? Just say experience. Don't tell me it's 18,000. That looks bad. Feels bad.
But also, that's 18,000 over every step. So like that's like probably like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 or something for 5 different steps.
What if it's just one task and it's like walk 500 kilometers and you get
that
everything?
Will take me 2 years to do.
That's right. Yeah. No,
at my current rate, at least.
It'll just take us one GoFest weekend and we'll get it done.
Like I mentioned, the wild encounters are kind of strange. It definitely does not call to me, especially with the last series of spawns that we've had. And Zamazenta is not as cool as Zacian, so
it's not. But Shiny Debut is cool in and of itself. I mean, it worked for Phalanx, right?
No, it didn't.
I saw a lot of people that were excited about Phalanx, myself included. Thank you very much.
It was a raid day, though, not the same thing.
Yeah, but it was a Shiny Debut, and that brought interest to the event.
Yeah, but you had 7 free raid passes, so 5 plus your 2 for the day.
And I bought that ticket too. You know I did.
Did you do all of your raids though?
I did. Yes, Of course I did. I was also dying from the plague at the time, and I was just sitting in my car. I'm like, I got 3 more passes. I think I lost track.
It's terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah. So Zamazenta is kind of a one and done. I feel like I think Zacian is so much better in Go, especially. Although it was really, really broken in the main series too. So I guess I can't really say that.
ban worthy.
Maybe Zamazenta will be really good being really high defense in Go, the way defense translates for GBL, if it ever gets its Hero of 1,000 Battles form.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm staring at this wild encounter pool, man, and nothing is coming to mind. I was like, what about the shiny colors? No, that's not it. Are they dogs? No, they're not. They're not dogs. Zabra's on this list. What's going on here? I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you.
You just did this max battle thing, and you're not going to include a new one in the next pool as well. Like, it's a missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it would have been cool if they did like Galarian Zigzagoon Dynamax or something, so that it was like close, you know, and thematically. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, there's plenty of things to be excited about in that event, even if one of the three things doesn't appeal to you. Don't care about Zamazenta? Well, there's Master Ball, and then your Daily Adventure Incense is now more spicy. Don't do Daily Adventure Incense? Well, get your Master Ball and go get your Zamazenta. There's something for you. But that's it for the news. We spent a good amount of time talking about that. Love it. All right, like I said at the top, we're going to be skipping over Gear Up and Pokelore this week. So when we come back from our short little break here, we'll be getting right into the PokéPoll.
And we're back with last week's PokéPoll. We had, how has your experience been with the new Max Battles and Dynamax feature? Triptando said, honestly, it's been pretty fine. I still think an inevitable slight revamp will happen, but I'm just looking at it differently now. It's a fun feature, and it's all free rewards, and they're not the worst. Some good experience and potential rare candy, and you can do like 4 tier 1s for free a day. 3 technically. Don't unless you were real cheeky with your walking particles, but let's
you can do that.
You could do that. Fair enough.
Yep.
Good to integrate into casual daily gameplay. Although I'll forever be hoping that someday I'll be able to Dynamax and even Gigantamax my old Hundo Venusaur that I already have invested so much in. Stardust, TMs, Time to Best Buddy, and potential to evolve or an Elite TM. Oh, and a funky dream of mine is to have a ginormous Dynamax buddy with me on the map. Much love, Tristan.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear Triptando kind of coming around just a little bit. I know that, Trip, you were very not thrilled with it when it was first announced and first starting up. So it is cool to see a different perspective. I still agree with feels bad about not being able to use your current favorite, though.
Yeah.
Mostly from a resource perspective, I'm going to be honest here, because Go is, again, not about your favorite Pokemon necessarily, because you don't really form those attachments unless you deliberately did it.
Yeah.
But I've already spent, 500,000 Stardust, 500 candy, 300 XL candy. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
That's fair. And I mean, I was just talking to Trip in the Discord like an hour ago or whatever it was. And it's still the disappointment of not being able to Dynamax your old ones is still there for sure. But again, like we were saying last week, it doesn't step on the toes of really any other system. Although I will say we did not talk about how, because now we have to power them up in order to do, well, not too much if you have 3 of them, but you do need to power up your Dynamax whatever in order to do the harder stuff. So it is taking resources from other systems because it uses Stardust and candy, of course. But I think Stardust is the bigger mention. But that tier 3 upgrade, that 40 candy XL is crazy. That's pretty steep for like no return.
It's more, by the way, for Beldum. We didn't mention that.
Oh, is it really?
Beldum's cost, I believe it's 60 candy XL.
Holy moly, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. To unlock, it's 400 max particles. I figured it out. Max particles and 70 candy. But to get from 1 to 2 is 600 and then 120. Oh, it's 50. It's 50 candy XL to go from 2
so it's from 40 to 50. So that's not the end of the world, but it's more. It's 140. It's 100 candies, 40 XL for a regular, like a Charmander, and 120 and 50 for a Beldum.
Do we know if it's less for like the Wooloo tier?
I don't believe so.
No,
I imagine this is probably, if I had to guess, tied to the tier of the raid they are in.
Yeah. So the Wooloo I'm looking at right now is also 40 from 2 to 3.
Yeah, I've been actively avoiding anything that's not a Charmander because max particles are such in demand. So I don't want to do a Wooloo or a Squirtle right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I gotta find a better Charmander, man.
Oh, it's so bad.
I got a 14, 15, 15 Squirtle.
I also got a 14, 15, 15 Bulbasaur.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so, I evolved that guy, and I'm like, that's the one. The rest of these
I'm going to use that guy.
Yeah. I just deploy the others into the power spots now. That's all I do.
All right. But thanks for the answer, Trip. Next one's from Monkey Flower, and they said, I like Dynamax. With battles available all day, using your free ones is much easier than the daily raid pass. I like being able to farm candy by leaving a mon behind to help others. Telling you, it's got great bones. It's got great bones. Being able to do them all day is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Very surprising as well, considering they turn off rockets at night. And I guess conceptually they're very similar in that regard. Next one from Carlo. What?
I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they decided for it to be a little bit different.
We just take it. We take it.
Yeah.
Next one's from Carlo, and they said, Dynamax has been okay. Right now, the only reason I participate is because it's not something I have to pay to be able to access. I'm giving it leeway as it seems to be a trial run as of now, but there are many improvements to be made. It could be a neat feature depending on how it evolves into higher tier battles. If we can remote to friends max battles, that will help. But if it's local only, it has the potential to be just as dead as Shadow Legendary raids.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a change that allows previously caught Pokemon to be given the ability to Dynamax / Gigantamax, maybe similar to unlocking the Max Guard / Max Shield moves. I bet we get that in like 2 years.
Sure.
2 years. That said, counterpoint to not being able to remote. You can only have 4 people in a battle. So no matter how these battles scale or what they require from you, they have to be completable with 4 people trying to win.
Yeah.
Now, do those 4 people need 3 level 40 Pokemon with maxed out max moves? We'll have to wait and see. But if it's like a raid and you do like an appropriate, if you do a legendary raid and you have like 5 people and everyone has level 35 counters, you'll do that raid.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of Pokemon that would be difficult to do in that scenario. So it's less dire and you only need to know a couple of people. So I'm definitely less negative on the lack of remoting, even as somebody who has nobody in my immediate vicinity who plays Pokemon right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the verdict will be out until we get a legendary or another 5-star or something. Maybe we'll see 4 stars, maybe they'll bring back a Tyranitar into a 4-star max battle or something.
That would be awesome. I mean, they do bring back 4 stars for the bonus raid battles after community days. Like, they still exist, folks.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to trot out a 2-star for a special occasion. Even for just the nostalgia, Cool.
Yeah. All right. The next one from Hyenas Are Good. They said, I'm enjoying Dynamax a lot. It helps that I got a Hundo Bulbasaur, so I'm eager to get resources for it.
Nice.
I kind of like how there's a set amount of progress you can make each day, and you have to strategically manage that. I know people think it's kind of a side game so far, but eventually I'm sure there will be meta mons like legendaries, and you'll basically getting a free extra local only raid pass every day if they let you enter for 800 max particles. With that in mind, I'm motivated to build one of each of the starters now since they're pretty good with the community day moves and they have megas, so they have other uses. I'm a big Wayfarer fan, and I'll admit I'm scratching my head at these generic businesses, which would not be eligible as way spots, becoming power spots. But I think it was necessary to add something new to avoid clogging up all our existing way spots. Anyways, I'm a big fan so far and find it's motivating me to walk around in different parts of my neighborhood to search of the other starters. I'm looking forward to needing to strategize with friends and make use of the other 2 moves at some point.
Yeah. That's the spirit.
That said, Spirit should give more healing, apparently.
It definitely should. Oh my gosh, it was negligible.
I guess if you got 4 people, it's supposed to heal everybody, right?
Yeah.
So,
but it was like 3%, man. It was really small.
But like maybe at max it's 10%, and 10% across 4 Pokemon is 40%. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, I agree. And I do think the way the power spots are a bit strange. They're definitely in some questionable locations. That's for sure.
By the nature,
I don't know if they will consider fixing that in the future. We will have to see.
Yeah.
Next response from Oaken123, and they said, "Hi, gents. Since the news came, I had big hopes, but the fact that our mods that we've had from before can't be used totally killed my interest for the future. The fact that legendaries and other mods that are both time-consuming and often expensive to collect hundos and the best IVs of would have to be caught one more time totally killed my vibe. So I'm not very hopeful at the time. I don't like that they made it so isolated from the rest of the game. For me, it's a similar feeling to be pushed to prestige mode to compare it to other games." That's fair.
I've seen the parallel to prestige mode.
Yeah. The unfortunate counterpoint is people love prestige mode.
They do.
Prestige mode is so big in games. It is like why some people play the games they play.
It's like a defining thing in Call of Duties.
Yeah, like if it didn't have prestige, people would be like, I'm not playing, which is crazy to me. But
yeah,
I will agree and double down on the fact that if we get like Kyogre and Groudon in these raids, in the max battles, that's gonna be a bummer. Because I've done so many Kyogre and Groudon raids. I've done so many Rayquaza raids. Do I want to do it again?
I mean, the experience will be different because it's a max raid. It'll be interesting. But yeah, no, it's essentially doing the same thing. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the experience is minimally different. Conceptually, it's still the same.
And I think the separation again from Dynamax from the regular track stuff might help make that feel a little bit better, right? And if the max battles are engaging enough because they're legendaries, you have to have a full group. You have to do a specific strategy. One person's a support mon, or something crazy like that. Like I could see them be if they are as unique as tier 7 raids are, or 7-star raids are in the main series games. Then it'll be cool.
But see that you draw like such attention to Pokemon Go's biggest flaw with that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't really play Scarlet and Violet, do the tier 7 raids, but I follow enough content that I know all about it.
Steve.
Yeah. There is no support in Go.
Yeah.
If you could have a person come in and just put up screens, like that would change the game. Yeah, you have the whole system now. Add moves that exist to interact with that system. Like you can do it. Don't make it tied to only the Dynamax, and you actually have an engaging system. The infrastructure is now there to have supporting moves.
Yeah, I agree.
The infrastructure is there for you to screech, and instead of doing damage for your turn, you lower the enemy's defense. Maybe Screech is like a 20 energy charge move or something like that.
That would be
something
so cool.
Really fast. Maybe that's a little too low, but still, like, it's there. It's never going to be good for the way current PvP works, I think, and the way that current raids work. But you have a new system. We can do this. We can do this, Niantic.
It's there. You should be able to have like the quick move, 2 charge moves, and then like 1 support move. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like your support move, maybe you have Protect, or Screech, something. Follow me so that nobody ever you get to go first. I don't know. It's just there's so much there.
This would validate other Pokemon too, because of just this would add such a You're right. You're 100% correct. You've been on a streak this episode. What's wrong with you?
It's why I think that Dynamax being separate has so much value that could be brought into the game. I don't trust Niantic to do it, but I would love to see it, and I think it can be done.
Yep.
All right. Went on a little tangent there. Sorry. Next one's from Slip Slimely via email, and they said, "Good morning, GoCast. Slip Slimely here. If I remember first say, I loved the Megapod. Kyle did a great filling in for Chris. And as an avid listener to It's Super Effective, I still got to listen to Chris in the same week. I hope you're feeling better.
Yes, much better. Thank goodness.
That said, I've been really enjoying Dynamax. Being able to do multiple 1 stars in a day for free as opposed to the main raid system where I can do a single free raid is super nice. Getting to leave Pokemon behind to earn more candy is great, and the fact they tie it to doing the raid first feels great. Unlike with regular raids where a raid spawning means the Pokemon in the gym are in limbo for an hour or so.
True.
Just feels better to me. I'm also hardly bothered by the whole starting over thing. At this time, max moves are based on your fast move, which means the usual Community Day charge moves we wait to evolve our Pokemon for aren't as useful. Will they be nice to have? Sure. But so long as my Squirtle has Water Gun, I have Max Geyser, which feels far more important right now. I'm going to disagree with that on my experience. I think that your charge move is most of your damage in a max battle still currently, which is disappointing. But I mentioned that earlier. Anyways, my one genuine gripe is the 800 a day max. I have difficulty making time to get outside often to get a lot of power spots, so I end up just collecting my 300 max particles from walking while I'm at work. The reason this has repeatedly felt bad is the game keeps encouraging me to go and collect MP from power spots, but I can't get more than a few spots a day when I keep collecting my 300 from walking first. It's hard to not collect that 300 as well, since the game really likes to make sure you know you've earned those particles for the day. Just feels bad to be restricted on quest completion due to playing the game.
That was frustrating. Yes.
But that's all for me. If I sent this at the right time, you guys should be recording a few hours later today. If it's a Tuesday recording, not this time. So I hope you have a great day, guys. Shiny Dynamax vibes all. Dynamax can be shiny, by the way, if it's unlocked. So
yeah, it can be.
This is an interesting thought about the 800 a day. I haven't heard this particular take about it. I've heard other thoughts about how they feel about 800 a day. I just 800 is a little too small. Like it doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be 1,000.
Crazy.
It should just be 1,000.
I even think 1,000 is a little bit too small, but I think it should be like 1,500.
Yeah. Plus, it should be. Here's my other thing. If you have gained, actually, no. Let me restart that. If you walk, you should be able to have unlimited access to max particles. That should not be included in the limit, is my idea. My feel.
Problem. I was literally going to comment this. You beat me to it.
Oh, okay.
You can't. Because
why?
Pokemon Go fundamentally is a broken game.
Yeah, but it's broken in other places.
Yes, but we can't help this one because spoofing and distance cheaters are always going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tie it to that and someone is just cheating their distance, you can get 2 kilometers in like 8 minutes of cheating your distance, and nobody can actually detect that technically because you're just telling your phone you're moving at a certain distance, and you're not like, it's not like you're running and stopping or whatever. It's just a constant. And so you just have unlimited max particles. And
yeah, but there's
that's not a problem yet. It's not a problem yet. It becomes a problem when there's a 5-star, when there's a legendary that you want to get. And now you actually have unlimited access to it.
Yeah. I suppose I was about to say there's other limiters to it, because when you're powering up the Pokemon, even just the Dynamax stuff, that requires candy and stuff in addition to the max particles. But you're right, because it only costs max particles to get into those raids and you get the Pokemon out of it. That's right.
This is why there's a limit in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to have walking. This is my thought, at least. With no walking, no limit is less of a problem, because you got to go to 10 power spots or whatever to hit your daily cap, 7 power spots. But I get it. And especially because you want to not claim the walking max particles until the end, which feels extra bad if you don't get a chance to go walk and you just have it sitting there or to go spin them. collect them.
Or if you lose count like I do, and I claim the
last.
Yeah,
I absolutely will never keep track.
Yeah,
I will claim those particles on my lunch break at work, and then I will go hit a couple of power spots on my way home. That's what I'm gonna do.
Amazing. Oh, we've got a voicemail. We've got a voicemail response to this PokéPoll question as well from Kevin Red Bull. Here it is.
Hey, Kyle and Chris. It's Kevin Red Bull here, answering the PokéPoll question. So I've been trying to do a lot of Dynamaxes. I enjoy them. They're easy. They're fun. It gives you another shiny check. It'd be a cool shiny if I could get one. But I am not so fortunate. And like Chris said last week, yes, I did see the Shundo Charmander that's in Dynamax that somebody received on X. I am also very jealous.
Yeah.
But I am just grateful that they released a whole new mechanic in the system that we've never experienced before. And there really isn't any glitches. There's no problems with the battles or the mechanics or the on-screen stuff. I'm not having any problems. Thank goodness. Like, good on them. I didn't hear anybody speak on that last week when we were making comments about, just the initial release. I'm just happy it worked. Now I'm excited to see what comes next. Like, I'm looking forward to Beldum. I already got a Charizard that Dynamaxes level 50, 3-star with max attack.
Wow.
I'm working on maxing out the max attack, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm having fun with it. It's something new and different. Granted, you can't do anything with them yet, but I feel like something will happen. So, happy 300 episodes, guys. All the best of luck. Shiny vibes all. Shundo vibes all. Kevin Red Bull, out.
Kevin Red Bull's ready to go. Holy cow.
Kevin Red Bull's like, I'm going to drop 400 regular candy and 380 XL candy into this Charizard. Let's go right now.
And don't forget, that's also days worth of max particles just being sunk into the one Pokemon.
I love it. I love it.
That's commitment. We do love that. Awesome.
Some minor bugs in the Dynamax, but in Niantic terms, it's basically none.
Flawless.
So, yeah. All right. So for this week's PokéPoll, we have: will the introduction of shiny Galarian birds inspire you to use your Daily Adventure Incense more often? All right, Chris.
This is a binary answer. Yes or no. The answer for me is yes, but my caveat is unless I hear from people that do it all the time that the rate is really bad, or we have some confirmation that the rate is really, really bad or something like that, then I probably will be less motivated to continue doing it. But I'll give it the old college try now. Maybe I'll use the Adventure Incense like twice a week. Who knows? But we got dogs, so I take, the dogs for walks every once in a while. So I'll just start doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Very blasé answer. I understand. But
I'm just like, you hatch eggs all the time, so why not do?
Yeah, but like
do it.
I don't know. It's like I hatch eggs because I do like little spurts of activity instead of like a 15 to 30 minute dedicated walk.
What are you doing for less than 15 minutes that's hatching you eggs?
Going around the house, going outside with the dog into the yard, but not like a full walk, or just going to the bathroom. I drink a lot of water, Kyle. You've seen me.
No, I don't know about that distance. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
I will not be doing any more. That's for sure.
Okay.
The system itself does not appeal a whole lot to me, and that's okay. That's really it for me. If I went for more walks as a regular basis, just because I want to walk, I'd probably throw this on just because I can.
Sure.
So I think it's great for those who play Go and have that as their regular routine. It's just not my regular routine.
And you don't want it to be.
Nope.
All right. Well, dear listener, you heard our answers. We're very thrilled, very inspired. This week's PokéPoll question one more time is: will the introduction of shiny Galarian birds inspire you to use your Daily Adventure Incense more often? You can answer that question. We posted on X at GOCast Podcast. If you are listening via Spotify, you can leave a comment on the episode too. We'll take answers from there. If you are a patron supporter of our show and therefore in the patron Discord, we have a channel dedicated to answers to it. I will also post on Threads at GOCast Podcast. I've been trying my best to keep up with that. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello YouTube, you can comment below the video and also hit that subscribe button, and we'll take answers from there as well. So thanks in advance. Speaking of emails and voicemails, Mr. Kyle, there is one heck of a thing happening now, isn't there?
It's time for emails.
And several voicemails. All right, so this time we're going to switch it up a little bit because we got some non-Hey Happy 300 emails and voicemails mixed in with the Happy 300 emails and voicemails. So we're going to go through our written emails first, and then we'll end with a bunch of voicemails because we got a whole lot of them. Very thrilled about it. This first email is from Michael, and they said, hello, GoCast. Happy Skitty podcast. Skitty being the number 300th Pokemon in the dex. As of typing this, I woke up late today, so I hope I have enough time to play some Go. I just saw a video where it looks like Beldum will be a bit tougher than the original release of Dynamax Mons, to solo at least. I need to invest more in Charmanders if I hope to solo a Beldum. Also, I think I learned that the Dynamax symbols in the raids, you don't tap on them, but swipe your Pokemon into them. I've not tried it. It's only according to the video. I want to thank you guys generally for what y'all do, but also the little stacking items tip you gave me blew my mind.
You're not the only one.
No, it's lots of people. I'm sure others did not know about that either. Hope you guys have a great Psychic Spectacular. I'll be grinding that fairy metal, oddly enough, and a great span of this podcast. Sincerely, Dark Angel. P.S. I just found out that hitting your compass makes the game camera work more as a compass.
It's the compass trick.
It's the compass
We've covered that one too in the past, although it's been a few years now. Yep.
Yes.
That's a fun one for those who don't know. If you press it in the corner and you hold your phone flat, you can't do it vertically. You hold your phone flat, your phone will actually act as a proper compass, and the game will rotate to the direction that you in the real world are facing.
Yep. And then while you're in that mode, if you tap it again, it'll lock it north, no matter which direction you're going to.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Very, very helpful, especially when you're trying to navigate in a place you don't know where you're at.
Almost exclusively that. We're like, oh, how do I get out of the park? Oh, I know that the gate's north. Which direction is north?
Yeah. Sun direction? Who knows about that?
No. There's no stars out. I can't chart my course. Every time that we're at a live event, without fail, Kyle and I have the opportunity to educate some other content creator that should know. You should know if you're listening to this, and I know several of you do because you tell us you do it from time to time. If you're listening to this one, y'all should know this. Include this in your YouTube videos and your podcasts. Come on now.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the email. Appreciate it.
Next email's from Dylan. They said, hey, Chris and Kyle, great show, and enjoy the optimism of Chris and the realist of Kyle of the game makes this pod very enjoyable. I seem to lean to Kyle's views of the game, which entails that I play this game and want to watch the world burn in front of my eyes and question why do I play this game with its flaws, but you do anyways. That's why we're here. I digress. Yeah. Question for you both, since we have 2-stage and 3-stage evolution. What Pokemon should have a 4-stage evolution, and what would they look like? And what typings should they have? I would go with Nidoqueen from a ground poison to a poison psychic. And Queen would have long white hair, looking very judgmental and ready to rip out the soul of its opponents.
Whoa!
I would call it Dame Form Queen. And Nidoking would be Lord Form King and would be long black hair, like with a staff to cast its subjects to certain death by order of the Queen.
Nice.
Just a thought. Sorry for the confusing text above. Hope it makes sense, and be interested if other listeners have any thoughts. From over the pond, Dylan from the UK. Well, 4-stage evolution.
I mean, that's what Mega is, right?
Sort of. A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. I got one, though. We need, Raichu needs an evolution. And there apparently used to be one. If any of you guys follow Dr. Lava on socials or other things, he talks about like removed assets and things from the games. And from the original one, there was supposed to be a Gorochu or something like that, and it was like a much bigger Raichu. It looked a little meaner as well, and I would love that. And I would love for it to be electric fighting. I think that'd be really, really cool.
How about a Dragonite 4th evolution?
Oh,
Dragonite
loses all of his weight.
becomes another Chinese dragon instead of a Western dragon.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Like some cultural like finger pointing and poking in there too. I love that. Where it's like, these dragons are better.
it definitely got robbed of no Mega and no Gigantamax, so it feels deserving. It feels like it should become more of a Western dragon though, to like actually play to the point. Really like big stomping claws. Have you ever seen American Dragon Jake Long?
No.
Ever see that TV show? Oh man, you should look that up. It was a fun one from like 2002 or something like that. For those who've seen it, I'm thinking of that, except not red because he's red.
Okay.
It would definitely have to keep Dragon flying though, just because it's too special to Dragonite. Got to keep that 4 times weakness to ice. Let's be honest.
That's right. Give ice something to do, man. Oh my gosh. I mean, am I wrong? Like it needs that. It needs it. It does. But thank you, Dylan from the UK. This next one is from Juan, and they said, "Hey there, Chris and Kyle. Juan here. It's been a minute since I last wrote in for the show. I just want to give my take on Sewaddle Community Day for this coming October. I've been seeing a lot of people upset and saying how this pick for a community day is trash. Well, I understand Sewaddle is not a fan favorite, in my personal opinion. Not every community day has to be meta defining or a mega favorite. I actually am excited for Sewaddle Community Day. I think it's very neat Pokemon, and I'm sure with the addition of Shadow Claw for a fast move, it could make some key plays against certain Pokemon. I will say, I would have preferred maybe a Golurk or maybe even Palisand CD.
Palisand would be so good.
That would have been awesome. You know, since it's October and to stay within the Halloween vibes, especially after what I thought was an already chill community day with Ponyta, where if you missed it, it wasn't really that big of a deal. That's really my only complaint. I think Sewaddle is also really has a really nice shiny. We disagree. Swadloon kind of takes a dip with its shiny, but still okay. Leaveney though, bad shiny. Okay, we're all back on the same.
We're all in agreement here, at least.
Anyways, hope you guys are having a great day. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this community day. See ya. Yeah, not much to say here. I think we kind of agree. We disagree about Swadloon though. Swadloon's good.
Yeah, I like Swadloon. The white face, like the white body itself is nice.
The red eyes, man. Let's go. But thank you for the email, Juan. Appreciate it.
Next one's from Monkey Pelt, and they said, "Hey, GOCast, regarding a Go subscription, I'm really shocked they haven't implemented one yet. In February 2021, Ingress, Pokemon Go's predecessor from Niantic, released a monthly subscription that's still in place today. It was $5 a month upon release, now $8 a month, and includes a monthly item drop that includes very rare items, think Ultra Balls and Silver Pit apps, premium items, the equivalent of 3 Lucky Eggs and 3 Incubators, and a Pokecoin equivalent to half the subscription's price. It also gives an icon next to your name while your sub is active so others can see it in game and judge you. The best part is that it grants a 25% increase to inventory while the subscription is active. In Ingress, this is the only way to increase your inventory, so it's a huge deal. Ingress players figured that the Ingress subscription was implemented to use as a test bed for Pokemon Go, so it's shocking something similar hasn't been ported over. Sorry for the long email. Hopefully someone on the Pogo team can get kicked in the rear to implement something this cool." Monkey Pelt.
Yeah, I think we agree. We've talked about this before in the past. Like, stop nickel and diming us. Just let us pay an upfront thing and include everything. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd pay for it, but it's strange that it doesn't exist.
Yep.
That's my takeaway at this point, especially in the modern era of gaming.
In this economy.
Oh God. Don't remind me.
Don't remind me that I exist. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Monkey Pelt. Appreciate the email. Our next one here is from Kel Drinks Custard. It's been a hot minute. Hey guys, happy episode 300, otherwise known as episode Skitty. I bet Kyle can't wait for episode 304. Do you know what that is?
Is 304 Shedinja?
No.
Skitty is a Gen 3 Pokemon, right?
Skitty is Gen 3. Yeah.
I don't know what 304 is. You have me on this. Oh, it's Aaron. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
I had the answer, but I needed you to find it for yourself.
Checks out. I like Aaron. I'm just tired of it in Go.
Yeah,
I like Aaron more than the average person. I think people dump on Agron a lot, but I like it. Just not in Go.
Done messed up, Aaron. Done messed up. You two have put so much effort into this podcast and somehow still managed to make it even more entertaining every week. That's high praise. Also, you're delusional, so thank you. Keep up the great work. You've not only created an exceptional podcast, but also an incredible global community. I will agree that everybody that we've met through this show is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, I'm not even just saying that just because patrons help support the show, but even non-patrons, like pretty much every single person we've met has just been like really, really cool and fun to hang out with. And to meet, of course. It feels like we've only just celebrated episode 100. You know what they say, time flies when you're listening to GOCast. Also recording. It's been like an hour and a half for us here.
Yep.
Just a quick question this week. What happened to you guys getting bug and ghost types to level 40? I can't remember when it stopped, but as it's episode 300, I think you should both set a goal of getting a ghost and a bug type to level 50. Happy pumpkin spice latte season, Kyle. Have a good one. Kelv drinks custard. However, I don't actually believe I've had custard in years, so it's probably just Kelv at this point. Right. Thank you, Kelv. We were concerned about your health if you were truly just drinking custard on the regular. Yeah, we did stop doing that. I know I stopped doing it because I shifted my my focus toward like hoarding Stardust, and so I didn't want to do that anymore, at least not for now. But let me see.
I haven't stopped getting them to 40. I believe I have at least one of every family at level 40 at the moment, but I don't grind XL candy to the point where I could take most of them to 50.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that.
XL candy.
I don't have a Goldengo to 40 because I don't have a Goldengo, period.
You could get one.
I could. You're right.
You really could.
I could.
So I'm looking at my 4 stars and bugs to see what I could potentially do. And the problem that I currently have is that there's only 2 Pokemon that I have enough Candy XL for to even max right now. But I have 9 hundo bugs that I could.
Yeah.
I could do Masquerain or Beedrill.
Chris stopped because there was too many bug types, so he chickened out.
I was hoarding Stardust. My priority.
No, that was the decision afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I have a Sensu or a Choreo. Like, I don't think I own one, so I can't max that out. And I haven't maxed out Sandygast yet. So
okay,
those are the only 2. Every other one I have maxed out since they have to 40 since they came out.
So I've hit my 24 million Stardust in hand goal. So maybe I'll max one out. Why don't you choose right now, Kyle, between the Beedrill and the Masquerain? Which one should it be?
Masquerain.
Of course, you chose the one that doesn't have any function.
Well, it's Surskit. It's so bad that it's great.
All right, I did it. That was 400,000 experience or Stardust.
Oh no, was it like level 2 or something?
Yeah, it was pretty low. But for the video, there's the proof. It's leveled all the way up. All the way up. Okay. Anyway, thanks for that. Thank you very much, Kelv.
Always fun to burn 400,000 Stardust in one go.
Always fun. Anything. Do it for the vine. You know.
Do it for the vine. Oh God. All right. Our last email is from Ryan. They said, "Hey GoCast, it's Ryan. I have had massive success this season. I got 1 Hundo Wooloo, now double, a shiny Galarian Ponyta after the community day, and 5 Dynamax Bulbasaur. I have 0 Charmander.
Aww.
This week I've been seeing the Beldum raids all over with no Dynamax Charizard to battle, and got my butt whooped while using a Dynamax double with a fighting type max move and 2 Wartortle. Why are they so much harder than the 1 stars when the 1 star took me 30 seconds? My actual question is, Would you decrease the power and health of the 3-star max raids? Thanks for listening. Bye, GOCast. I think I need to see what the next tier looks like first. Because I do think that the 3-star might be a touch too hard. But
maybe.
Like I said, even doing it accurately, it took me several minutes of fighting. Like as long as a full 3-star raid probably takes. What is that, 180 seconds?
Yes. Right? Yes?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I looked at a raid timer.
No, I don't. They have timers? Question mark?
Yeah. So, but it requires an investment, as we mentioned earlier. It's definitely not something you just kind of can jump into and do. But that's okay because there's a lot of 1-stars, and honestly, the 1-stars are a better return for your max particles at the moment, unless you really want the Beldums.
Right. Or just want to try it too, just for the challenge. Hey, here's something else. If you, dear listener, are in the same scenario that Ryan is, where you just don't have a Charizard for whatever reason, if you do have a Blastoise though, or a Wartortle, they can learn a Dark type fast move, and that would also work much better than trying to use fighting moves against the Beldum.
Yep. Yeah. Because unfortunately, fighting effective against Steel, but resisted by Psychic, so you end up with the neutral result.
Right. Yep. And so the Dark would be just super effective against the Psychic. You won't be getting Stab, but it will be super effective, so you'll come out on top. Max Darkness is the thing you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for our written emails. Thanks so much for everybody that sent those in. All right, now we're going to play our voicemails. We've got seven for you. Some regular voicemailers and some non-regular voicemailers. This is an interesting batch. But our first one here is from Hero Ice 18.
Hey guys, it's Hero Ice 18 here. I promise I will be short and sweet compared to the last voicemail and more positive because you guys hit 300. That's incredible. Congratulations. Honestly, you guys are my go-to Pokemon Go podcast. I love the just easiness, the information, the good vibes, and it's something that I always love to listen to with my little girl in the car. So thank you guys for everything. Your work and dedication to the community of the game are amazing, and you make my life better for it. So I hope you guys have a good one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. We take great care to make this an appropriate show for all ages. So messages like that mean a lot to us. So thank you very much for listening and calling in. Appreciate it. This next one is from Kevin Red Bull, who we just heard from, but back again.
Hey, Chris and Kyle. It's Kevin Red Bull here. I just wanted to call in and say happy 300, guys. It doesn't even feel like it's been years and years at this point. I started following you guys right around episode 80s, 90s, and now we're hitting 300 together.
Mm-hmm.
As you can hear, I'm obviously at work. I just finished episode 299, and I'm just, I got goosebumps. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy that we've been able to go on this journey together in Pokemon Go, and it just feels fantastic, you know? I hope you guys have a fantastic day. All the shiny luck. Have a great 300. Proud of you. Talk to you guys later. Kevin Red Bull out.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
Kevin.
you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, it does kind of, especially if you've been listening like forever. Yeah, this is kind of a group effort because as Kyle and I have said several times, we wouldn't be doing this show if people weren't like actively engaging and stuff like that. It wouldn't be a thing. So appreciate all of you as well. Our next one is from Mr. East Coasting.
Hey Chris, Kyle, DeFi E250, Fish and Lachlan. Just a wee message to say massive congratulations on episode 300. I bet you never thought you'd reach that number. A bit like collecting Zygarde cells. This is a huge milestone that should be celebrated. You've got a perfectly balanced podcast. I love the energy you all bring to the show, as well as the camaraderie between you. As we say over here, Lang may your lumreek. Here's to the next 300. All the best, Martin, or Mr. East Coastin. Cheers.
Yeah, I don't think we thought we were going to make it to 50, let alone 300.
Gosh.
Oh, man.
So long ago, too. Just thinking about time passing.
Prior to COVID, like healthily prior to COVID, too. Oh, that's crazy. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. This next one is from Sewaddle and Kunlori. We'll play it now.
Hey there, GoCast team. This is Sewaddle. I wanted to say a big thank you for all of the episodes you produced, but not only from me, but also my son.
Hello, Chris and Kyle. Congratulations on 300 episodes. Shiny vibes all, and sorry for the long voice note. Bye.
Don't think I could have said it any better myself. You're all amazing over there. Keep it doing what you're doing for at least another 300 episodes. Thank you.
Oh, that might be my favorite voicemail we've ever gotten.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah. That was great. That was thank you very much. Our next one is from Saramanda.
Hey, GoCast. It's Saramanda here. Happy 300th episode, GoCast. I'm glad you guys exist. Just keep doing what you do. I guess that's all. Peace, Saramanda.
We're gonna keep doing it as long as we are capable of doing it.
That was such a Saramanda message. I loved that so much. That was wonderful. Speaking of, I know this is a weird place to put a plug. I plan on doing it at the end, but now that Saramanda's come up, quick shout out. Saramanda and other member of the community member is Maxitron. They started a Monster Hunter Now podcast called MHN Cast or Monster Hunter Now Cast, and they've put out 3 episodes. I'm helping them produce it a bit, but it's all them. It's their show. It's really great. I'll put links in the show notes, but y'all should go check it out. It's on a different feed. You won't see it here. Although I think once we start getting around like episode 4 or 5 or something like that, I'll push them on the feed as a way of advertising. But go check it out. We'll put links in the show notes. Anyway, back to the 300 joy in the voicemails here. We've got one from Tribird.
Hey, Chris and Kyle. Trent, aka Tribird here. Wanted to give a huge congratulations on 300 episodes. That's an incredible milestone to hit. I'm sure we all have our ups and downs with this game, but I love that even if you guys may not be as excited to talk about the current content that Pokemon Go may be giving us on a particular week, you always seem excited to be talking to each other, and by proxy us, your loyal listeners. You built up an amazing community around you. I'm happy to be a part of it, and you should feel very proud for the journey you've been on so far. So, cheers to 300 more, shiny vibes all, and sorry for the sappy voicemail. I'm not apologizing for the length of this, though. This is going to be like bang on medium.
Yeah. That was perfect. That was the ideal length. We love that.
Length. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Although I don't, we'll see if we can follow up on 300 more. Oh my gosh, that's what a crazy thing to even consider right now.
Depending on the state of the game in 300 more episodes, I suppose.
That's true.
That's true. Would be at Gen 13 at that point. I don't know.
Yes. But I will say right now that Kyle and I's chemistry it's all fake, and none of that's real. We don't like each other.
We're the Adam Savage and the Jamie Heineman of podcasts.
that's good.
I don't know how deep of a cut that sounds nowadays.
No,
it hasn't been on TV, and
it's good for us. It's good for us old heads at this point in time. Jeez, holy cow. My gosh. And our last one is from Triptando.
Hey Chris, hi Kyle. Triptando here. I'm a very long time listener, previous emailer, mostly through Discord PokéPoll answer, and for this special occasion, first time voicemailer.
Yeah.
Just wanted to quickly say a big congratulations to the two of you for the 300 episode huge milestone. Always looking forward to a new episode each and every week. And I love the additions of podcast shows to the greater GoCast podcast feed. Keep doing what you do. Much love, Tristan.
Thank you, Trip.
Thank you very much.
It's great to hear from you and like actually hear from you. Thank you for the special occasion of calling in. Love it. Okay, folks. Well, that's it. That's going to be a wrap for episode 300. Thank you, everybody that sent in an email or a voicemail, or even people that sent messages in like our Discord or DMs or whatever the case might be. There was lots of different things. People reaching out and saying congrats on 300. So thank you all very much. We wouldn't be doing this without you. And if you'd like to be included in future episodes, we always encourage y'all to write in, and I'll do so again today. So if you'd like to email us, just like these fine folks did, you can by emailing to mail@gocastpodcast.com. You can also call and leave a voicemail by calling 262-586-7717. And if for some reason that doesn't work, feel free to just email me an audio file. We had a couple people like that on this episode even. Visit our website for all things GoCast podcast, like signing up and RSVPing for the meetup. Do it. Don't forget. GoCastPodcast.com. Follow us on X and Threads at GoCast Podcast. If you'd like to help support the show, you can via Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That's spelled Patreon and then .com/GoCast Podcast, or just Google it. You'll find us. But speaking of patrons, big shout outs to our Elite Trainer tier patrons. And I know for a fact, Kyle, that it's your turn.
Oh boy. Okay. Shout out to Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin, Mimi, Sports, Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Modders, Lee, William, Brandon, Ethan, Steven, Nick, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, Sarah Lore, Memorandums, Nabil, Tish, Jacob, Matthew, Don, and John Paul.
But thank you to our Elite Trainer tier patrons for helping us keep the digital lights on and for your generous support. Allows us to do lots of cool things and keep the show going and upgrades and all that cool stuff. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. Another way to help support the show is leaving a review. Please do so if you're on a platform that allows it. That would be awesome. And then we'll read it on the show. We've done that in the past. All right, we got to set some goals, Mr. Kyle. This might be a milestone episode, but that doesn't mean we're getting away scot-free. We got to set some goals. This weekend on Sunday is Orangaroo and Pessimian Research Day. So you're going to get 10 of each, right?
I'm working, so I'm not getting any.
Yeah.
I think I'm working at like noon, so it's going to be right in the middle of my work day. So I'm going to go 500,000 experience. I want to keep doing more max battles. I want to try and make sure I'm doing those every day for the most part.
Yep.
And I need to clean out my inventory. I'm at like 6,500 out of 6,800. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're getting up there right now.
That's it. Okay, great. Gotcha. Nice, clean and simple, but actually not clean and simple because that inventory cleaning is rough. It can get kind of hard. All right, so I want to get at least 2 shiny Pessimian. That's my minimum here. 1 for me, 1 for Kyle because he's going to be busy and can't play the event. 50 eggs because I ought to. I'm falling behind the curve over here, y'all. And I would like to do 2 more Beldum max battles if I can find them. I'd like to do much more than that. But at least 2 more. And then I would like to clear up my Pokemon storage so that I have at least 7,000 free space, or not free spaces, 7,000 in there. So it's creeping up again. I got to go through and purge big time.
Okay.
Yep. All right. And that's it from us here. So make sure you're listening to PvP Corner. They do great work. Fish just had 2 guests on, I believe. So go check out that one. It should have been published right before this show. And Start Peas, Lachlan and I have been talking about who we're going to interview next. So be on the lookout for that. I'll keep you informed. And then more recently, and not on the same feed, so you will have to go look for it. Again, the link will be in the show notes. Go listen to Monster Hunter Nowcast, MHN cast. There we go. That's the one.
MHNC.
It works. It's all that's just putting word breaks in the middle there. Go take a listen to it. Sarah, Amanda, and Maxitron are doing great work and figuring out this podcast and thing for themselves. And I think they're doing a great job. So go give that a listen and support them. And hey, shiny vibes, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.